Hi, welcome to my yoga spot. We call it the Yoga Shed here. And Stella's with me again today. And we're going to do a gentle yoga flow today that's going to be pretty much all on the mat. And if you have a strap, a pillow, a blanket, those would be good to have. Not required, but will come in handy. If you don't have a strap, you can use an elastic, you can use a piece of rope, you can use a t-shirt. Anything, we'll be using that for some forward bends a little bit later. And so if you have that and you're ready to go, let's get started. So we're going to start seated, sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes. Take a breath in. Notice how you're breathing in this moment. Probably breathing fairly short breaths. So as we start to come into our practice today, start by just slowing down the breath, lengthening the breath. Take an inhale up, lifting up with the crown of the head, lengthening the spine. Exhaling gently and maintaining as much lift on that exhale as you can retain. What we want to avoid is inhaling up and then slumping back down. So you want to keep your inhales nice and lengthening, and then the exhales maintain that nice long line you developed on the inhale. A few more steady breaths. Bring your palms together at your heart center. Sit up nice and tall. Bring an intention to your practice today. And then lower your hands down to your knees. Take another long, big inhale. And let it out. And then gently open your eyes. And we're going to start in child's pose today. So come onto your knees. Have your knees nice and wide. Have your toes either together or coming together a little bit towards each other. Press your hips way back. So I don't usually start with child's pose, but every so often I like it. And I don't start because it does require a little bit of time to sometimes get into it. So in this case, I want to encourage you to bring your arms together. Let your head come to your forearms. Maybe even use a blanket or a block or just anything that keeps the head up a little bit. Unless, if you're totally comfortable coming all the way down, you can come all the way down to child's pose. So whatever works for you. I'm going to start up here. And come back to your breath. Let the breath be nice and steady and even. Find some space for the belly between your thighs. And as you inhale, let the air fill up your whole back body. You just feel like the whole back body is expanding on your inhales. Couple more breaths here. And then come on up. Come onto your hands and knees. And we'll do some cat-cows. So have your hands, your wrists directly under your shoulders. Hips are over your knees. On your inhale, press the chest down and through the gateway of your arms. On the exhale, press the back body up towards the ceiling. Into cat. Back to cow. Exhale. Really press with the hands on your exhales. Inhale. Find as much space and mobility through the spine as you can here. 2 more breaths. Last one. And then come back to a flat back. And from here we'll do bird dog pose. So reach the right leg back behind you, straight back, toes pointing down. And then reach the left hand straight out, reaching with the fingers. Let your gaze go towards the top of the mat, so your head's not tucked under, your head's not way up. Let the neck be neutral. Let the gaze just naturally go to where it lands on the mat. Try and be as stable as possible. Find stillness in this pose. You want to minimize the amount of rocking around. So you're trying to really stabilize with your belly. Reach with the foot back, reach with the hand forward, press with this hand. 1 more breath. And then back to tabletop. Pause for a moment, maybe shake out the wrist. And then reach with the left foot back. Reach with the right hand forward. Same thing in this pose. Find stillness. Reach with this foot back. Reach with the right hand forward. Gaze is where it's naturally landing towards the front of the mat. Engage the belly nice and strong. Steady breath. Last one. And then back to tabletop. And from here we'll do just another cat-cow. So press down into cow. Press back up all the way into cat. And then come back to a flat back. Now from here, we're going to do a modified child's pose. So you're going to walk your hands as far out as you can here. Nice, so your arms are nice and straight. Your hips are over your knees still. And then I want you to press your hips back towards your heels, pressing your chest towards the mat. So in this pose, you don't want your hips to be all the way back. Your hips are going to stay up a bit. And you're going to press the hips back as you press your chest down towards the mat. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, seeing if you can spin the biceps up towards the ceiling as you press the chest down. And then from here, you're going to walk the hands over to the side for a bit of a side pose here. Just press that chest down. Keep pushing the hips back, pressing the chest down. And walk the hands back towards the center. Pause for just a moment. And then walk the hands over to the left side. As far as you can comfortably go. And then again, press the chest down. Spin the biceps up towards the ceiling. Pushing the hips back. to center. Walk the hands back all the way, and then come back to tabletop. We'll do a cat-cow here. So inhale, press the chest down through the gateway of the arms here. Exhale, press the back body up towards the ceiling. Let the head hang. Back to tabletop. Now, step the right foot forward. We're going to come into a low lunge pose. So we're going to start with these toes, back toes curled under. Bring our palms together and our forearms and our elbows. Take a big inhale. Inhale, lift the elbows any amount you can. So, each inhale, see if you can lift the elbows just another little bit higher. And then you can lean forward, bringing your weight forward all the way, and then uncurl those back toes. Point that back toe straight back and come on back up. Inhale the arms up. Steady breath. Let the gaze go up between your hands. Press the palms together. Bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale. As you exhale, rotate to the right. So make sure the twist is coming right from the center of your belly here, not letting the knee spin out here. So we're not trying to do that motion. We want to keep the knee nice and stable. Twist is just coming from your core as you rotate around. One more breath. Back to center. Hands to the mat. Come back to tabletop. Quick cat-cow. Inhale. Exhale, back body up. Back to tabletop. Step the left foot forward. Again, start with the back toes curled under. Hands, palms, forearms, elbows touch. Inhale. Lift the elbows. Press the feet strongly into the mat, lifting up out of the hips. So you're still in a low lunge here. So really lift up out of those hips. High as you can. Lift the elbows. Lean forward. Uncurl those back toes. Point the toes back. Come back up to your low lunge. Inhale the arms up. Steady breath. Reach with the fingers as high as you can here. Let the gaze go up between the hands. Press the palms together. Bring the hands back to your heart center. And then we'll twist the other way. So inhale. Exhale, twist using just your belly. Again, making sure this knee doesn't flap out to the side here. Keep it over the ankle. So the twist is not going to be that far, but that's okay. Each inhale, lift up. Each exhale, find a little more rotation. And then come back to center. Bring your hands to the mat. Come back to all fours. This time you're going to step your left foot as far forward as you can. And if you have a block or a pillow or something, put it next to, or a blanket even, you can put it next to your foot. Just gives a platform, your hands can be a little bit higher. This pose may be a little easier. So keep this knee over your ankle. So the right knee is over the right ankle. And then using your toes, you can sort of scoot your back knee as far back as you can tolerate. So we'll come into this extended lunge pose, sometimes called lizard. This is sort of a modified lizard pose. If you want to come into the full pose, you come on up. So you're in this pose, and you really want to sink your hips, lift the chest. So you can do the same thing with the knee down, right? You can sink the hips and lift the chest. Feeling sensation across the front of the left thigh, maybe the back of the hamstring, could be the calf. Could feel it in many places in this pose. One more breath. And then walk the hands back. Come back to your hands and knees. Step the left foot as far forward as you can. Same thing. Bring your hands to a block or pillow or blanket. Scoot that back knee as far back as you can. Keep the left knee fixed over that left ankle. And then sink the hips, lift the chest. If you can come up, you can come into this pose as well. But this is just fine. This is a nice stretch as well. See which one feels better, feels more appropriate for your body today. Doesn't matter. Only matters to you and your body. One more breath. And then to come out, walk your hands back, slide the foot back, move the block, blanket, whatever, out of the way. Come onto your hands and knees. And walk your hands towards the front of the mat. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Curl your toes under. On the inhale, press up. Exhale, we'll come into down dog. And do 5 long breaths here. Sort of walk your feet out. Settle in. Really focus on pressing the hands fully. Keeping the arms nice and straight. Pressing back, lifting up the hips, keeping the knees soft. Pressing the heels down towards the floor. One more breath. And then lower down, come back to your hands and knees, and pause. Okay, now come out forward. You're going to come onto your forearms. We're going to do a forearm plank, dolphin plank sequence here. So, on your knees, bring your forearms to the mat, have your fingers interlaced. Walk your elbows in. And then step your feet back into forearm plank. I'm going to settle in here for about 10 breaths. And as you're going through your breaths, really think about pressing the heels back towards the wall behind you, reaching with the crown of the head forward. So there's a pulling effect, as if someone was pulling your hair forward and pushing your feet back. Right? And that can help really find length and really bring the hips down. And you may come out of this pose several times. There's no requirement. If you get tired, come on out, come on back in, and then lower down. So there's no problem with doing that. This time, we're going to come into dolphin pose from our plank. So inhale, press up. You know, you're in the plank. And then lift the hips, walk the feet in. Walk the feet in as far as you can. And soften your knees. Press your forehead towards your toes. And lift the hips up. And press the heels back towards the floor. Steady breath. And then you're going to walk back out into plank. And then lower down. Point your toes. Bring your forehead to the mat. Bring your hands to your sides. And then slide your hands up towards your waist. Coming up onto your fingertips with your elbows bent. And on an inhale, lift your head, lift your chest, lift your shoulders, and then squeeze the elbows in to come up to get lift. Squeeze them in, squeeze to lift. That's it. Lift up as high as you can. Keep the breath as steady as you can. And then lower down. And roll onto your left side. We're going to do a side plank. So you're on your side, left leg is straight, right leg is in front of the left leg. Forearm is coming across the mat, shoulders over the elbow. On an inhale, lift up the left hip. Now, from here you can bring the arm up, or you can keep the arm down if you need it. That. If you're really feeling nice and strong, extend the leg out straight. So now you're in full side plank here. Nice and steady breath. And then to come out, bring the hand down, lower down. And we'll flip over to the other side. So we'll be side plank on the right side. Again, shoulder over the wrist, right leg is straight, left leg is in front of you, left hand's on the mat. Then from here you inhale, lift up, lift the hip. Now, this may be fine, you can stay right here, bring the arm up, extend the leg maybe. You find the pose that works for your body. Nice and steady, even breath. The yoga is in listening to your body and knowing what you should and should not do. You can tell, you know the difference, listen to the body. To come down, lower the hips, and release. Now, from here, I want you to grab something to sit on. Could be a pillow, a blanket, whatever it's going to be. I'm going to use a blanket. And I'm going to have a strap here, handy for some stuff we're going to do coming up. All right. And we're going to start. You're going to sit on the edge of the pillow or blanket that you're on. Scoot back a little bit. Okay. And bring your feet together, or anything that looks like this pose. This can be a difficult pose for many people. You may find your knees are way up high, but that's okay. What we're trying to do is really work the inner thighs here. So you're going to sit up nice and tall, rock back and forth, find your sitting bones. Sit up nice and tall. Spread the knees as far as you can. Come back to your steady breath. Come back to your yoga ujjayi breath. Breathing deeply through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. If you find exhaling through the nose difficult, you can exhale through the mouth as well. But you really want to make sure you're not breathing in through the mouth. You want to use your nose for that inhale for sure. A few more breaths here. You might even try turning your feet. You can almost, turn the feet up as much as you can. And then on an inhale, lift up. Lean your belly forward. So you want to keep your back straight here. Keep leaning forward, lifting the chest, pushing the belly forward, trying to lean into this a little bit. And then gently release and come on back up. Now from here, extend the left leg out straight. You're going to bring this right foot, tuck it in nice and tight into the inner left thigh. And this is where you're going to want a belt, possibly. And we're going to start a couple things. We're going to start with one hand on each side of the leg. If you find that this knee is way off the mat, for me it's, in my case I'm a little bit in between, but if you find it's way up here, you might find it useful to just put a block or a pillow or blanket underneath this to give it some support so it's not hanging in midair. And that might just feel a little bit more comfortable. And then have a blank strap t-shirt. Okay, you can just use a t-shirt. We're going to be using that, so you can always use that. I'm going to be using the strap. So we're going to start by having one hand on each side of the leg. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, rotate. Rotate here so that your sternum is going to be coming out over your leg. So you're pressing, lifting up at the chest, pressing the sternum forward towards your toes, towards your knee, towards this leg here. Keep reaching forward, leaning forward. Walk the hands as far as you can. At some point you'll reach your maximum, and then you can try and grab the foot with your hand so you can reach forward, come this way, or you grab a strap, put it around the ball of the foot, and reach this way. Inhale, we're trying to really find length along the back of that hamstring. Keep reaching with the chest forward as far as you can. You can grab the foot. You can bring the left hand back behind you to help sort of emphasize the twisting action a little bit. Give it a little more rotation. Take a couple more breaths here. And then gently release and come on back up. And we'll switch sides, extend the right leg forward. Bring the left foot in to the internal thigh. If you need anything to support this knee, you can slide a pillow or blanket there. And sit up nice and tall. Have one hand on each side of the leg. And then take a big inhale. As you exhale, rotate a bit to the right so that as you start to come forward, walking your hands down along the leg, the sternum's coming out towards the knee, towards the leg. Keep pressing forward. Moving the belly forward, pressing the chest towards the toes, walking the hands a little bit farther. When you reach your max, you can't go any further, you can grab the strap, grab your t-shirt, whatever you're using. Grab the strap, keep pressing the chest forward, keep pressing forward, walking the hands down the strap. Keep breathing nice and steady. Maybe you can grab the foot, come forward, Keep pressing the chest towards the leg. Keeping the breath steady. One more breath. And release. And extend both legs out straight. Grab the strap. Or whatever you're using. Sit up nice and tall. Big inhale. And then as you exhale, come forward. Pressing the belly forward. Pressing the chest. Walking the hands down the strap as far as you can. Lean forward, pressing the chest towards the feet, relaxing the back of the hamstrings, back of the legs. Maybe you can grab the toes, and then let the head go, let the head, neck drop. Let the breath be steady. And then release, and come on back up. Move the strap out of the way. Move the block, blanket. You're gonna come onto your back on the mat. You're gonna lie back with your knees bent. We're gonna first do a bridge pose. Walk your feet in. Have your feet parallel. Sort of rock back and forth, tucking your shoulder blades under a little bit. And then press the hips up, high as you can. Reach under, interlace your fingers. And then, again, rock back and forth, coming onto the back of your arms. If you can't grab your hands, you can grab a strap. Grab the strap here, or just have your hands on the floor. Whichever works best for you. Press the hips up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing. Pressing the hands down towards the floor. Reach with the hands towards the feet. Maybe walk the feet in just another half inch or so. Lift the hips a little bit higher. 2 more breaths. And then release down slowly. Bring your knees into your chest. Gently rock back and forth. And come to center. Reach through between your knees. Grab the outside of your feet for happy baby pose. This is happy baby. So you can be in this pose. You can also be just grabbing your knees. Okay? But if you're here, I'm going to start by taking a nice big inhale, pressing your feet up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, pull the right foot down, pressing the knee in towards your armpit. Pressing, pressing, pressing. And then inhale back up. And then as you exhale again, press the left foot down, pulling that knee in towards that left armpit. And then inhale back up. Exhale, pull the right foot down. Same thing, pressing knee in towards the armpit. Inhale up. Exhale, press the left foot down, bringing the left knee into the armpit. Inhale back up. And then just alternate sides on the exhale. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. 2 more rounds. And then release. Bringing the feet back to the mat. Spread your arms out wide. And I have a blanket handy here, or a pillow or anything. Have your arms out to the sides. Cross the left leg over the right. And then as we come into our supine twist, so there's a twist on the back. Lift the hips up a little bit, slide them over to the left, let the knees fall to the right. And for a lot of us, I'll demonstrate the other side, as you can see from this part. Sometimes when we let our knees fall over, right, our shoulder's gonna come way off, and then we're kind of in a mess. We've lost any real sense of the twist. So, I'm looking at it from this side. As I lift my hips, slide my hips, and let my knees fall. As I start to come down, if I feel like my shoulder is going to come off the mat, use your blanket or pillow or block, slide it under this right thigh to give it support. So wherever it needs to be, it could be right up under, it could be all the way out here, depends on your body, but give it a nice place to land so that it can relax. And your shoulders should both still be on the floor. Let your gaze go out towards your left fingers. And let the breath start to relax a little bit. Really allow the body to sink into this twist. Bring the head back to center. Bring the legs back to center, uncross the legs. Move your support to the other side. Cross the legs. Lift the hips, slide the hips to the right. Let the knees fall to the right. And again, give yourself whatever support you need to keep this shoulder nice and flat. Let your gaze go out over the right fingers. Really try and soften the belly, soften the back body, soften this outer hip. Starting to let go of that real steady Ujjayi breath. Letting the breath quiet down. And then bring the head back to center, hips back to center. As we set up for Shavasana, and then lie with our legs out straight, arms by our sides. Sometimes it's nice to take a blanket, put it right over the belly. It can feel nice and secure and warm. Bring your arms by your sides. Let out the breath. Let go of any steady, forced breathing. Let the breath become its natural breathing, whatever that is. And maybe do a quick body scan, softening the eyes, the cheeks. Maybe bring a little bit of a smile to your face and notice how the smile relaxes the muscles of the face. And then soften the chest, the belly, the hips, the legs, and the feet as we come into a quiet, still Shavasana. Feeling gravity pulling us down, holding us to the mat. So there's no effort. As we take a few minutes to be still, have our eyes closed. For Shavasana. Bring a little movement back into your hands and feet. Bend your knees and slowly, keeping your eyes closed, roll onto your right side. Keeping your eyes closed, make your way up to a comfortable seated position. As you make your way up, sit up nice and tall, nice long spine, reaching the crown of the head up. Bring your palms together at your heart center. Acknowledge the intention that you started the practice with. Bring love and gratitude into your heart. Namaste. Thank you for sharing this time with me. I hope you enjoyed this sequence and flow, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.